Let's welcome Miss Yashvi Gangar.
Miss Yashvi Gangar is a passionate changemaker and multilingual achiever. Yashvi blends academic excellence, creative writing, and social impact. She is a voice of purpose and youth empowerment. Miss Yashvi scored 91.06% in the Delhi International Spanish exam and completed B2 level of Spanish language. She appeared for the SOF International English Olympiad 2023. She was a part of the Entrepreneurship Club 2022, 2023, and 2024. She has participated in the JP Morgan Chase & Co. Job Stimulation on Forage 2024. Take it away, Ms. Yashvi.
Good morning to each and everyone present here. I have a confession to make. I used to be heavily involved in underground trading, sticker trading, very serious business. Glitter was like the gold standard. I had this obsession with collecting stickers. You know the shiny ones that you'd beg your parents for at the stationery shops? I had a whole box of them. Glittery stars, cartoon characters, even rare ones that I traded with friends. And every time someone asked why I never used them, I'd say these are special. I'm saving them for a good occasion. But here's the twist, that good occasion never came. I held on to them for so long, protecting them, waiting for the perfect moment to do something with them, that I eventually grew out of stickers altogether. They just sat there unused until one day I realized they weren't worth anything anymore. And that's when it hit me. Money works the same way. If you just collect it, stack it, and wait for the perfect moment to do something with it, you're just wasting its potential. Stickers don't grow in value when you hide them in a box, and neither does money. I'm sure most of us have a single question stopping us. What if we lose money? But what if you lose the opportunity to make money while you're busy being scared? I will be speaking on the basics of investing, budgeting, and financing in young adults. So you must be wondering, why should you listen to a 17-year-old talk about investing? Well, Warren Buffett made his first investment when he was 11. I made it when I was 16. So technically, I was already about 5 years too late. But better late than broke. However, the real wake up call wasn't about those stickers. It was my dad. My father works harder than anyone I've ever known. Long hours, late nights, never once complaining. I have seen him wear the same pair of jeans for 3 years in a row because they still work fine, while happily spending money on me if I so much as mentioned something in passing. Beta, do you need new books? Done. My little girl has her eyes on a new dress. Here's the money. Dad needs new shoes. Oh, these still have some sole left. And before him, my grandfather, a man who worked his entire life, sun up to sun down, building a foundation for us. His generation's mantra was work hard and sacrifice. And he did, every single day. And here's what I've realized. If my grandpa's generation was about working hard and my dad's generation was about sacrificing for the next, then my generation's responsibility is to work smart, to build wealth, not just chase it. Because here's the truth, no matter how hard you work, if you don't know how to manage your money, it will slip through your fingers. Life is pretty much like Hunger Games, but unlike any other game that you've ever chosen to play, this one starts the moment you're born. You don't get to read the rules, you don't get to pick your team, and you definitely don't get to choose the level of difficulty. Some players are dropped into the arena with resources, armors, even shortcuts. The rest of us were thrown straight into the maze, told to run, and reminded constantly that if we stop, we lose. And here's the catch, most of what we're chasing inside this game isn't even real. Grades, trophies, paychecks, titles, They look valuable, but they keep changing shape the moment you get close, like a glitch in the system. It's the perfect setup. The more you chase, the more this game distracts you. Meanwhile, the players on the higher ground, the wealthy, the powerful, they aren't running with us. They're the architects. They designed this arena. And the only way to stop being a pawn in their game is to finally learn the rules that they never taught us. Rule 1, Rupee cost averaging. Invest the same amount every month no matter what. Market goes up, you buy fewer shares. Market goes down, you buy even more shares. Over time, the average works in your favor. It's like buying rice. You don't wait for the perfect price. You buy it because you need it. Number 2, the 50-30-20 rule. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for your future self. And then there's compound interest, Einstein's eighth wonder of the world. If I invest 2000 a month now, by 60 I'll have around 3.7 crores. If I wait till 25, barely half of that. 7 years of delay costs me almost 4 crores. That's not mathematics, that's dark magic punishing procrastination. I'm sure most of the elders, at least in my household, believe that fixed deposits are safe, guaranteed. Sure, safe like earning 6% while inflation eats 7%. That's not safety, that's slow motion financial suicide. Because while we're here debating whether 500 is enough to start, someone else's 500 is already compounding. While we're afraid of losing money, the wealthy are terrified of losing time. And that is the opportunity we all share. The same markets, the same apps, the same time horizons. The only difference is, what will you do with it? You know what the funniest part is? We are the generation that has learned calculus from YouTube, figured out relationships from memes, and somehow mastered the art of ordering food without ever talking to humans. Not that I mind, nothing makes me happier than waking up to Zomato's 20% off Momo notifications in the mornings. But ask us to invest 200 rupees, and suddenly we're like, what if the market crashes? What if I pick the wrong stock? I need to read like 47 books first. I need to consult my astrologer about the financial implications of planet Mercury being in retrograde. No, you just need to start. Initially, people had to physically go to a broker, fill out forms in triplicate, probably perform some ancient ritual involving the sacrifice of a goat and a calculator. All we need to do is educate ourselves. Today, investing looks like sitting in a cafe, phone in hand, and learning how to make money move. Thanks to platforms like Zerodha, investing is no longer this mysterious adult thing. All you have to do is open the Kite app, search your favorite company, probably the brand behind your sneakers or your phone. Tap a few items and boom, you own a piece of it. That's right, you don't have to work for Nike in order to own Nike. And then we have Varsity, an application that breaks down finance into plain languages. No scary graphs, no complicated jargons, just real, relatable learning. Now, most of you all will say, we're not even adults yet, we don't have the money right now. Really? Check your food delivery history, or that one night you and your friends spent way too much on snacks. Fun gives you a moment. Investing gives you a lifetime. You don't have to be rich to invest. You have to invest in order to get rich. Allow me to tell you about this friend of mine. She's like super rich. Her grandma gets the credit for her, if it's not designer, it's disposable mentality. Picture this, a young widow, 8 kids, and a house so chaotic it could register on the Richter scale. Most people would panic, but grandma, she looked at the chaos and thought, money, a plan, and a miracle. Let's do all 3. Step 1, budgeting. She borrowed money from a brother, not for a sari, not for television, but to buy cows. Every rupee was accounted for. If she so much as overspent on grass, It was a disaster. And that is your first lesson. Budget like your life depends on it. Because it does. Step 2, investing. These cows weren't just cows, they were assets. Milk, ghee, yogurt, every product multiplied her initial investment. She turned a simple loan into a cash flowing business before she even knew the words ROI or stocks. And Joey Tribbiani was wrong. It's definitely not a moo point. Step 3, saving and financing wisely. Every rupee she earned, she saved and bought gold, which covered her children's education and other expenses. By the end, she had created generational wealth all on her own. Forget stocks and bonds. Her portfolio did not say mutual funds, it said mutual funds. Okay, so try hard jokes aside, it all comes down to three pillars that young adults struggle with today: budgeting, investing, and financing. Plus a little grit and humor and some seriously productive four-legged employees. And honestly, if she can do it with 8 screaming kids, I think we can survive budgeting our overpriced coffees and Uber rides that cost more than the actual event. Seriously, if you don't start now, you won't magically wake up one day knowing how. You'll just wake up older, with less time, and the same fears. Stop telling yourself money is complicated. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop promising your future self that you'll figure it out later. The only difference between people living their dream life in 20 years and the people still trapped in excuses is the decisions they make today. Start building. Money will either be your biggest excuse or your biggest tool. And that choice, ladies and gentlemen, that choice will only ever be yours. I would like to take your leave by sharing my favorite quote by Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Don't work for money. Make money work for you. Thank you.